In this video, we will add relationships to our project file. And this is why I am back again in our data model, so where we stopped in the last module actually. Now, I am here in the report view, and although this module is not related to the report view, we will cover that in detail in the next module, let me just create a small visualization to show you why relationships might be a good idea for our project. So to create a visualization, let's simply select that column chart right here and drag it right there and increase it so that you can see everything. Now we have that visualization, and to bring it to life, we can now go to our fields column, because we learned that those are the three tables that we imported from our query editor. Now, if we click onto that arrow right here and select the population, so I'm simply clicking and holding the left mouse button and drag that to the value section, then we see one column. Well, not a really good chart, right? So we should add some more things. And one thing could be the year. So if I click and hold the left mouse button again and drag the year to axis right there, then this looks better, right? Now we created a chart which shows us the total population in the world from 1950 to 2100. Now, so far, so basic as I would say. But what if we want to add some more information? Or what if we want to look at those data differently? Let's say you want to see the population, but in different categories. And categories, we did something like that, right? We created that age group categories, so that baby, adult, and so on. Maybe we can add that categories to this chart. Let's find out. So we go to the dim age group table right here, click onto that arrow, and now simply select the category and drag it to the legend field. Like this. Now this doesn't work. And why is this not working? Because actually, if you look at the tables again, we have the age group ID right here, and we have the age group ID also in the fact population table. So basically, those two tables should be able to communicate. Of course they are not, because we only prepared the tables, because we have those columns. But we have to tell Power BI that those two columns are related, because how should it know that by the moment? And to do this, we finally have to go to the relationship view. Let's do that. So the relationship view can be found right here. And what you can see right there is that we have two boxes. And actually there should be three boxes, right? Because we have three tables. But if you scroll to the right here, then you can find the dim region table also. Now the good thing about those boxes is that you can simply click and hold the left mouse button to position them wherever you want them to be positioned. So right here, for instance. And you can arrange them as you want. You could, for instance, position the dim age group table right here, the fact population table right there, and the dim region table right there. And if you want to increase the height or the width, you can simply click right here or right there and do the same thing for the other tables, just as you prefer. Like this, for instance, like that and like that. Well, and I said you can position them as you prefer, but I put the fact population table into the middle. Why did I do that? Well, as I said, this fact population table basically is the connector between those two dimension tables. So it might make sense to position that in the middle. However, we are talking about connection and communication, and at the moment we saw that our chart, well, there isn't a lot of communication happening at the moment. Now, how can we change that? Well, if you look at those tables, you can see that in each table we have the name of the table, and here we have the column names. We know that names, right? Age group ID, age group max, and category. So nothing new for us. The new thing is that if you now click and hold the left mouse button again, and drag that column, or this age group ID column in this case, to the fact population column, like this, then those two tables are connected. And what I just did was wrong, by the way. But I just want to show you why this was wrong. That's why I did it. So let's go to the report view then and see what happened. Let's go back. And you can see that the chart changed, but not the way it should change, right? Because we have blanks, adult and young adult. but we had more categories and there shouldn't be any blanks because we defined categories for all age groups. Let's go back to the relationship view and see what happened there. So the first thing we can see right here is that we established that connection. So we have that relationship, and we will talk about that one and that star in the next videos, no worries. However, this relationship doesn't work as we want it to work. Now, if you double click onto that line right here, you can edit the relationship. And here you can see what we connected. We connected the fact population tables with the country ID, with the dim age group table and the age group ID. Well, and this is wrong, right? Because we have to connect the age group ID with the age group ID, of course. Now you could change that here. If you simply click right there, then the connection would be between those two age group IDs. Now let's do that. And down here you find some more options. You find cardinality, cross-filter direction, and make this relationship active. We will talk about those things in the next videos, so just keep that in mind, but you don't need it for the moment. Now, if you press OK right now and go back to the report view, we can see that now this relationship works the way it should work. And because of that, we can now see the development of the population by the different categories. And one thing you might see, for instance, is that the senior population is expected to increase a lot in the next years. So this is our first relationship that we created. Let's go back to relationship view. And you might wonder why it didn't work in the beginning when I connected those two tables. Let's first delete the relationship then. So you can click right here, and if you now press delete and enter, you don't have that relationship anymore. Now you want to recreate that relationship. And we do it the same way we did it before. So I click and hold the left mouse button right here. But now I position that part of the mouse exactly on the age group column. Let's do it like this. So we see the relationship is established again. And if we now go back to the report view, we can see that this works. So this is the important thing. You can simply create those relationships by selecting one column in the first table and dragging it to the other column in the next table. The important thing is that you really select the right columns. However, if we go back to relationship view, we have another relationship that we want to create. And we have that manage relationships button up here, and we didn't use that so far. Let's take a look at that in the next video.